you will find there's so many, many more things in the original language, because English, as Maharaj often says, is not such a good language. German is better, I think. And I think Bengali and Sanskrit are maybe even better than German. There's so much different purport in it. So Bhaktivinoda, he says, Bakasura Bhada, Kutinati Durta O Satya Hoite Nitya Vyavaharai Bakasura Bhad. The translation wasn't very good. What did it say? It said something like, Bakasura represents cheating, but he represents Kutinati. And those of you who know, this has a much deeper meaning. Kutinati, Durta. Durta means a rascal. Satya means someone who's dishonest or deceitful. He says, Tahake nasa nakori le Sudha Krishna Bhakti hoyana. He says that false dealings, we can say kutinati. Kutinati has a number of meanings. Kuti means something which is crooked. And nata means dancing or acting. So someone who's making a crooked dance or who's doing something in a false way, they're acting on the platform of kutinati. So that's false dealings, that's hypocrisy, that's diplomacy. So such false dealings which are due to deceit and cheating, and which come from mitya vyavahar, another very interesting word which wasn't in the only translation I've seen for Chaitanya Sikshamrita. Mitya means a lie, and vyavahara means dealings or exchanges. It's a very significant word. Mitya vyavahar, false dealings or exchanges, without eliminating this demon, then pure Krishna Bhakti cannot appear in the heart. So he gives a few different explanations that the Bakasura basically, here he says he represents four things. Kutinati, Durta, Satya, and Nitya Vyavahar. He represents Kutinati, hypocrisy, diplomacy, crookedness. He represents Durta. Durta means someone who's very cunning, very crafty. It means someone who's a fraudulent kind of rogue, cheater. And it means Satya. Satya means dishonesty, deceit, or wickedness. And it means Mitya Vyavahara. That means exchanges with other persons which are based on a lie. This is very interesting. We'll come back to this again in a minute. In Krishna Samhita, in the 4th chapter, text 22, Bhaktivinoda says, Tadatu dharma kapatya, sarupa bhaka rupa drik, krishnena sudabudena nihata kamsa palitaha. That Bakasura, who is maintained by Kamsa, personified cheating religion, Bakasura is personified cheating religion. He was killed by purely intelligent Krishna. So he says here that Bakasura tadatu dharma kapatya, that he represents cheating religion. Again, in the 8th chapter of Krishna Samhita, Bhaktivinoda says, and we'll try to draw these together in a moment, Panchame dharma kapatyam namaparada rupakam bakarupi mahadurto vaishnavanam virodika. And he gives an expanded translation in Bengali, which is an English translation of that. The most clever Bakasura, who is a personification of cheating religion, dharma kapatyam, is the 5th obstacle for Vaishnavas. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, as we often comment, has done a wonderful thing for all of us. He's made Krishna Katha, Krishna Leela, legal. Where we might think, I have no adhikar to hear or speak about this thing. Bhaktivinoda said, no, each of these 9 mythic Leelas, the occasional pastimes in Braj, where Krishna kills the demons, they represent different obstacles on our pathway to our eternal home of Vrindavan. And these are different obstacles that will arise for each and every one of us on our journey home. The 5th of those obstacles is Bakasura Vad, the killing of Bakasura. So he says then, Namaparada Rupakam, that Bakasura is a form of Namaparad. offenses against the holy name of the Lord, those who do not understand their qualification, but accept the instructions of a bogus guru and engage in the process of worship meant for exalted devotees are, Bhaktivinoda says, prapanchita bhadavahi in his Bengali. Prapanchita means something false, and bhadavahi means external persons. The translator said ass-like people who are carrying some heavy load. They're cheated ass-like people who are carrying a heavy load. But those who have understood their ineligibility, yet have a goal to accumulate money and prestige, they follow the process of worship. They also follow this process meant for exalted devotees. Those persons are called kapatis, or cheaters. Until this cheating in the name of religion is destroyed, one's attachment will not awaken. Such people deceive the entire world by making a show of sectarian formalities and pseudo-renunciation. Wow. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in a few words, he summarizes false religion. It's a show of sectarian formalities and pseudo-renunciation. False renunciation. This is false religion. So, in the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam, it said, Paraspara anukatanam pavanam bhagavad yasaha mita ratamitas tustinirita mita atmanaha. We cited this verse in the beginning of our talk yesterday. It said there that devotees should learn how to associate with one another by coming together and hearing Krishna Katha. This is how we associate. It said that Bhakti Stu Bhagavad Bhakta Sangena Parijayate. That bhakti comes from association with devotees. But it doesn't mean that just going to the movies with the devotee, or going to watch the races, or going to a beach or something. It means when we sit down and we do kirtan together. It means when we have a Krishna Katha together. It doesn't just mean going, Maharaj, please, I have so many problems. Would you please listen to my problems? It doesn't just mean that we use a saintly person like a counselor. If you want a counselor, you can go to a counselor. Devotees also give very good counsel, and we have more faith in them. But that's not the purpose of the devotees. Bhaktistu Bhagavad Bhakta Sangena Parijayate. The purpose of association with devotees is to get bhakti. And association with devotees means that we come together and we hear and chant together. But Bakasura, he looks like a great crane. The word baka in Sanskrit has a few different meanings. One is it's a kind of crane. The second meaning for baka is that a kind of hypocrite, a cheater, a rogue. And many places in Vedic literature, in Vaishnava literature, the crane is described as a kind of cunning person because he looks like he's doing meditation. He looks like he's a very great sage. We, in our 10th issue of our Krishna Kathamrita magazine, we had some verses translated from the 19th chapter of Hari Bhakti Sudadvaya, which is supposed to be part of the Brihan Naradiya Purana. And there's some interesting verses there. Damba krantas charantyete sadakshara rata eva swatarka sadakahete monivesha mata eva. Deceitful and hypocritical persons may exhibit a high standard of external behavior, motivated only for the fulfillment of their selfish desires. They wear the dress of saintly persons like actors upon a stage. Munivesha. Munivesha means the dress of a muni or a saintly person. Munivesha nataiva. They're just putting on a costume like that. Now, this is an interesting statement from Hari Bhakti Sudadvaya because it also relates to Bakasura. In the 14th chapter of the 10th canto are Lord Brahma's prayers after he realized he really blew it in chapter 13 by stealing all the cows and cowherd boys. Sachinanda Maharaj gave a wonderful description of that Leela at the Govardhan retreat a few years ago. in the 35th verse, Lord Brahma tells Krishna, Sadeshariva putanapi sakula tvam eva deva pita. He said that you gave yourself, deva pita. Apita means you gave yourself. My dear Krishna, you gave yourself even to Putana. Eva Putanapi, Sakula, not just Putana, but you gave yourself to Putana's family. Why? Because Sadveshad Eva. Because Putana dressed up like a devotee. Sadveshad Eva Putanapi, Sakula Tvam Eva Deva Pita. Jiva Goswami comments on this in Laghu Vaishnava Toshan. Said Bhava Yutanam Brajabasi Visheshanam Datri Jananam Veshad Levi Gatim Datruchitam Tatonyam Iti Triti Yokter Iveti Tatrapi Hingsa Mayadambanaiva Natu Bhakti Iti Artaha. He says that the word Eva in the verse, Sadvesha Eva, means that seems like that Putana seemed to dress up like a nurse, a datri, of Braj. He says, well, the word Eva indicates that actually it was a disguise. And her purpose was to kill Krishna. Maya Dambanayeva, natu bhaktiti artaha. Her purpose wasn't with bhakti. Her purpose was to kill Krishna. And that's why she dressed up like a devotee. She didn't wear it with devotion. But in spite of that, Putana, along with her family, Sakula, family members, he says, past and present, attained you by your mercy. Amazing. Putana attained the position of a datri, a nurse in Braj. Although it's not directly mentioned, we can understand that indirectly, anvaya vyatirekabhyam, yasyat directly or indirectly, you can understand Vedic literature, indirectly that says that Putana got prema. Because you can't become a datri, a nurse in Braj, unless you get Krishna prema. So Putana got Krishna prema. Because, Jiva Goswami says, just because she dressed like a devotee. She did that one little thing. And then he says that the members of her family, they were enemies of the Lord, but because they were obedient to Putana, and because Putana dressed up like a devotee in a disguise, her purpose was to kill Krishna. Because they were in the same family, even though they hated Krishna, but they were obedient to someone who disguised himself as a devotee, they got liberation. But then Jiva Goswami adds, Baka Gayos to Virodhi Veshan Mukti Matram Iti Geyam. But Bakasura and Agasura, because they didn't dress like devotees, they only got Kaivalya Mukti. Very interesting thing. Some people have told me this is a big controversy right now. Should we dress like a devotee? Should we not dress like a devotee? I don't know why. Maybe we're just bored or something. We don't have anything better to do. We just want to have arguments about the most ridiculous things in the world. I really don't care how someone dresses. But this is an interesting statement in the Bhagavatam that Putana, because she dressed like a devotee, she got liberation, she got Krishna prema. Now the $64,000 question, I know all of you are wanting to ask, did she wear a sari? And it doesn't say. And I found that very interesting also. Because really, if you think about it, devotional dress may mean different things to different people. If you see the costumes that the ladies in Orissa, they do a Disi dance, and they may do a performance of Ras Leela, they have a certain kind of costume. In South India, it's a different kind of costume. Many times the men, they dress up as ladies, and they do that Ras Leela, and they have this, they paint their faces, they have a thing that comes out of their neck, they have a big dress. And if you go to Manipur, they have these really big, like, cones, looks like a toilet paper tube or something, a big one, and they dance inside of that. So which one of those, really important question we should argue about, which one of those dresses is a devotional dress? I think the answer is all of them. What does it mean to have a devotional dress? It means that we dress in a way that the devotees will appreciate. And that may be different for different persons in different places. It's really not such an important thing for us to worry about. Managers can worry about that, different rules and things. But we're not so much concerned about that. So it's interesting that Bakasura and Aghasura are the two brothers of Putana. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Chaitanya Sikshamrita and in Krishna Samhita, he says that Kamsa, who is a good friend of Bakasura, represents the head of mundane religion. And we spoke about this a few years ago here. We gave a very long class about how actually Krishna is not the son of Ugrasena, but he's a son of a demon named Gopila. It's a long story. This demon raped the wife of Ugrasena, Padmavati, and the result was Kamsa came about. Gopila was very, very expert in all the Dharma Shastras. He just had one problem. He liked to rape girls, but aside from that, he was actually a very religious person. And he knew all about Varnashram Dharma and fire yajnas and how to treat Brahmins and how to twist his fingers in different ways and so many important things. And he passed all that information to his dear son, Kamsa. So Kamsa actually is a religious person. And as we mentioned also in that class, Kamsa married the two daughters of Jarasandha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktivinoda says an interesting thing in Krishna Samhita I find very inspiring. He mentions Krishna's Dwarka Leela and how the many, many different sons of Krishna. And he says in the future, someone will come and they'll explain what each one of these sons means, the purport of each of these different sons. I found that very inspiring. Also, Bhaktivinoda, in his article, in Notes on the Bhagavat, he says that we should not imprison the ideas of even our previous acharyas. Rather, we should reflect them, and we should expand upon them. So, Bhaktivinoda, I find it interesting, he didn't make any comments